Coming up on MovieBuff this week, we get musical with 9, dive into the 3D world of Avatar, and go back to school with St. Trinian's.
As if we needed any more reasons to be jealous of Penelope Cruz. Well, now we have one. Along with her fame, fortune, acting talents and good looks, damn her. Turns out everyone's favourite señorita can also sing. And she shows off her dulcet tones and her curves in 9.
Why won't you let me near you?
It's not fair to your husband, it's not...
How much fun was it being so sexy?
Well, the number needed to have that, but it also needed to be fun and funny, because she is funny without being aware of being funny. She has to be, I mean, it's the way I felt Carla, that she's a little bit off, a little bit strange in some way.
You could say that.
I'll be here waiting for you with my legs open.
Penny is one key member of a very A-list cast. It's almost as if the makers said only Oscar winners and nominees need apply. We've got Dame Judi Dench, Nicole Kidman, Kate Hudson, Sophia Loren, Marion Cotillard and the great Daniel Day-Lewis. And they proved to be just as close off-screen as they were on. I know you got to hang out with everyone behind the scenes. There must have been some karaoke nights because you've all got amazing voices.
No, there were... I tried to take everybody to karaoke and we were planning it and then it didn't happen. We went, all the girls, no, most of us went to a concert together to see Madonna, and that was really inspiring and really beautiful.
The story centres on Guido Contini, a famed film director who's suffering from a severe case of writer's block.
I can't remember how you do this.
Directing a movie is a very overrated job, we all know it. You just have to say yes and no. What else do you do? Maestro, should this be red? Yes. Green? No. Yes, no. Yes, no. It's directing.
And the many women who surround him.
Guido.
Brought to us by Rob Marshall, who gave us Chicago, it's based on a Broadway production of the same name, which was inspired by Fellini's movie 8½. As a result, it's a lot darker and more complex than most popular musicals, and the numbers, while brilliant, don't pop up as often as you might expect. Means it does plod along in places. The cinematography, sets and costumes are to die for, and the lovely Mr. Lewis plays the Italian stallion to a T. And with a cast as jaw-dropping as this, you can't really go far wrong. Early tip for an Oscar, anyone? This could be it.
It's the film set to change cinema forever, and it doesn't disappoint, far from it. OK, you'll have to put on these silly specs for the next 3 hours, but be prepared. This 3D world you're about to dive into will change your cinema experience forever.
Oh my God.
Avatar is the first film in over a decade from director James Cameron, the man behind Titanic, Terminator and Aliens. Set in the future, Avatar introduces us to the alien planet Pandora, with its inhabitants, the Na'vi. Their world is being invaded by human colonists, who are after the planet's resources. When diplomatic attempts fail, the humans are set to begin a war with the indigenous population, but their plans are foiled by one of their own.
Nobody does a thing. You've got 1 hour.
The movie is a thrill ride, offering everything from its 3D imagery, die-hard action mixed with human conflict stories.
Go back. All this is your fault.
James Cameron even invented a new language for Pandora's Na'vi tribe.
I could barely do any of it. I couldn't roll my R's and things like that. So I just took the idea that, you know, just like Ridley and just like Jake and just like myself, we didn't go to Na'vi school. We took time off, and our excuse to Jim was, well, as Jake learns it, Sam should learn it, because then I'm not having to deconstruct. I'm actually having to learn it as I go.
Naughty.
But it's the film's state-of-the-art technology that makes it stand out. Cameron's team have invented special 3D cameras for the project and also went on to improve the motion capture animation technology we know from films like Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings.
So, you know, I was working on other projects at the time, but it occurred to me that the CG state-of-the-art might be just ready to start a film like Avatar, which had not, you know, sort of one main CG character, but many, ultimately hundreds. You know, so it was at another level beyond what they'd done so far.
For this means we see actors Sam Worthington and Sigourney Weaver playing humans as well as their alien characters.
And everything we do in this movie, you see we did do. So when you fly a Banshee, they bring in a rig that moves, and with guys pushing it. When you're chased by the Thanator, well, I'm running away from a guy who's going to try and get me.
What Jim created for the actors, first of all, he said this is a huge movie with a lot of special effects, but to me it's all about the emotional story between these people.
Do I have to do this now? Like,
I really need to get some rag.
No, now, when it's fresh.
Okay, location, shack. And the days are starting to blur together.
I thought she was so beautiful, and I really wanted to look more like her. It's like, oh my God, like if we as human beings were blue 9 feet tall and had a very like just athletic body, we would all be on the cover of Sports Illustrated every month.
With District 9 and Star Trek, 2009 has already been a successful year for sci-fi blockbusters, but Avatar tops them all. With 4 Golden Globe nominations under its belt and the Oscars not far away, Cameron's film is ready for global domination. Let's just hope we don't have to wait another 15 years for Avatar 2.
Now this is our land!
Turning up as a man in his mid-20s for a St Trinian's film sat amidst a row of minstrel-munching mid-teen girls isn't my idea of a good night out, but that was the situation faced at the premiere for St Trinian's 2. The second film in the modern remake of the classic series brought in famous names David Tennant and Sarah Harding to draw in the crowds, and the hype around it was more frenzied than throwing Zac Efron naked into a pit of pubescent girls. Rupert Everett return as Headmistress Fritton and take the girls on the search for ancient treasures of her ancestors. With ensemble scenes similar to the original, the film is actually ridiculous fun and at times very funny. No wonder star Tamsin Egerton hasn't had enough of being a St Trinian's girl yet.
In your face. Oh, in your face.
I can imagine that there's scope, just like the old St Trinians, for a few more.
Right. I hope so. There's talk of a third, and I'd love to do it. If they get the same cast and as these girls, I would love to work with them again. It was such an amazing summer. So for me, it would just be such a great thing to do every couple of years.
The clouds pop for you. Nothing stands in the way when you're a boy.
As well as good looks, the girls in the film come from very good acting stock. Juno Temple, Tamsin and Tallulah Riley are the latest and most sought-after British actresses, and the comic timing of Zoe Ashton is the highlight. Where the first film failed to tap into the anarchy and culture mocking of the originals, St Trinian's 2 succeeds, with lowbrow jokes for the adults and aspirational, hedonistic and hot cast members for the teenagers. If anything, it will succeed in making the film company agree to a third one, which, by the looks of a cinema full of screaming fans, will be very, very popular.
Why did you stop? We're out of our jurisdiction.
211 to control, over. They're back.